Hi students, today we are talking about the same topic but the second part of that topic, chemistry in daily life. See why chemistry is that much important in our day-to-day life. You see the expansion of chemistry. C means community, H health, E is the environment, M is the medicine, I industry, S science, T teaching, R research, and Y it is you. So whatever you are seeing in every day or whatever is available in your surroundings, that is all are related to chemistry. So without chemistry we cannot live. That's a fact actually. So today we are discussing about chemicals in food. It's not the chemicals extracting from food, but the chemicals we are adding in food for denaturation or some other purpose. So you can see in the picture the one person is injecting some chemicals into the food material. So it is really it is harmful to health, but also the activity is illegal. So we are talking about such activities. We are adding some extra chemicals to food for getting more attraction or some other shelf life like that. So first of all we can discuss about what is a food. All are taking food because it is very necessary component in our daily life along with air and water. So food is a necessary factor. So what is the definition of food? From food, from food we are getting energy, and for our metabolism in our body. So we can simply define food. Food is any substance which when consumed, digested and assimilated provides nutritional and energetic support for the body. So food is giving energy to our body. You can see the different types of food, that is our normal sadhya. You can see here, and this is the morning food, the breakfast, idli, vada, extra. So it is very attractive actually. Why this food is attractive? Because of the presentation, or maybe the presentation, see the presentation in a leaf, the presentation or the color or the appearance of that food. Anyway, it is highly attractive. So a food can give you energy. For giving much attraction, what we have to do? Maybe a food is not that much attractive after its processing. So to get much attraction, to get much attention, what we will do? We can add some extra coloring agents for visual impact, for some fragrance, for smelling impact, or some other flavors for taste impact. So such materials we are adding extra to the food, that such materials are called food additives, that will give some aesthetic appearance to the food. So you can see here these two candies, these are very attractive and nostalgic also. So why these are attractive? Because of the color, the appearance. So first of all we can talk about food additive. So what is a food additive? We can define it. Food additive is any substance that naturally not present in a food. It's a chemical substance that is not present in the food. We are adding it, but added during its preparation and remaining in the finished product, that will remain after its process. So such materials, such chemicals are called food additives. What are the uses of food additives? Why we are using extra chemicals to food? You know that pineapple essence can be used for getting good smell to biryani, and for sambar, asafoetida, kayam, that will give good smell and taste also. And for everywhere you can see, every food you can see some extra ingredient, some extra addition of ingredients that will give much attraction or taste or something like that. Anyway, what is the use of such food additives? We can examine that one by one. First of all, you can see the first point, decrease the risk of contamination by microbes. So suppose a food will expire within few hours of its preparation. it's not economic. So what we will do, we need the shelf life more. We have to add some extra ingredients. You know that pickle in our kitchen, for many months we are preparing it. It never damaged for many months or sometimes years. Why? Because sodium chloride is there. That will keep the microbes away from pickle. So that is the first point, decrease the risk to contamination by microbes. And the second, maintain or improve nutritional quality. Sometimes the food don't have that much nutritional quality, but the addition of this much extra flavors, extra ingredients, it will increase its nutritional value and also increase shelf life. If the food will damage within some hours, after the addition of these additives, it may get 1 day, 2 day or even 3 days, sometimes for 1 week we can get in air. And enhance the taste. Obviously, it is we have many taste making ingredients such as flavors. And you know the what is the use of masala? Not only giving proper cooking, it is actually for getting good taste. So enhance the taste of that material. Suppose you think you are taking the chicken only after boiling in water or cooking in water. What will be the taste? You may not feel any taste, but after adding chicken masala or something like that, you may feel better taste. So food additives are used for getting good taste. Or next, odor and appearance. Odor, very good smell. Odor and appearance, and the good appearance also. Appearance itself will evaluate the quality of the food. And odor also. If the food having very good odor and very good appearance, that presentation will give extra value. And reduce waste. So if the food having very good odor, very good appearance and very good taste, obviously the wastage will reduce. So generally these 3 ingredients are using as very safe food additives. What are these ingredients? Salt, sugar and vinegar. These are commonly using in our house because these are domestic food additives, salt, sugar and vinegar. This is very commonly we are using. Now I am coming to the major categories of food additives. What are the major categories of food additives? Many food additives we are using daily. So these are the major categories of food additives. The first of all, preservatives. Preservatives will preserve the food for long days. So some examples, sodium benzoate, potassium metabisulfite, etc. So this can preserve the food for long days. You know, vinegar can keep it for more long time, salt can keep, just like that. And the second category is colors, which may be natural or synthetic. Color is for getting good attraction, some visual impact. And next, flavors for getting good smell. That these flavors are coming from the extract of some vegetable or some non-vegetable materials like that. The fourth one is sweetness. Sweetness, getting attractive sweet or taste. Normally we are using sugar as a sweet producing agent, but beyond that nowadays we are using some other chemicals, harmless chemicals like saccharin, aspartame, like that, for getting good sweet. Also emulsifiers and stabilizers. Some other so always sometimes we can't preserve the material for long time using preservatives, color, flavors or sweetness. Sometimes we need some emulsifiers. Example, ice cream. In ice cream we are using many emulsifying agents for keeping it for long days. And also antioxidants. What is the role of antioxidants? Which will reduce the oxidation, which will retard the oxidation property of that food material. Example, BHA, BHT, vitamin E, these will reduce the chance of oxidation. So So, all these materials are additives and are using for various purposes. Now, first of the first factor we can discuss in detail, food preservatives. Chemicals intentionally added to food, generally in small quantities to prevent its microbial and or catalytic decomposition and deterioration, are called food preservatives. So, food preservatives are adding mainly to keep the food for long time. That chemicals maybe you are adding deliberately or coming with the preparation time. Anyway, that will stay in the food for long time. After the completion also, that preservatives will remain in the food. The common preservatives are sugar. You know, in rasgulla, like that, we can see sugar is a preservating agents. Salt, mainly pickle. Salt is the important preservative. And next, vegetable oils. Vegetable is everywhere. It can keep the food for long time. Also vinegar. That also coming to the salt. That is actually the pickle. So these are these four preservatives are commonly used in our domestic purpose, and commercially whatever we are using. These are the three commercially using preservatives. The first one is sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate, that you can see the formula C6H5COONA. This sodium benzoate is exclusively available in jams, jellies, fruit juice, pickles, fish, etc. Nowadays, every time the controversy is coming in our newspapers. What is the controversy? Because we found some very old damaged fish from our market, but still it is looking very fresh. Why it is looking very fresh? Because this contains preservative called sodium benzoate. How? What's the action of sodium benzoate in food materials? By keeping it for keeping it as fresh, because sodium benzoate will produce benzoic acid. In that acid condition, no bacteria can sustain. So, the production of benzoic acid will stimulate by sodium benzoate. Then every microbes, the microbes are the responsible for the decomposition of the food material or the damage of the food material. So, that can be fully avoided by the addition of sodium benzoate. So, sodium benzoate is very harmful to our body. And the second one is citric acid. This is not much harmful. We are using it daily, and citric acid is a tricarboxylic acid. You can see here 3 carboxylic acid group. It is a tricarboxylic acid, and which can be available in everywhere: jams, jellies, drinks, syrups, pickles, etc. The third commercially useful food preservative is potassium metabisulfite, and you can see the chemical formula K2S2O5. It is widely using in canned foods, because most of the sealed food items having this chemical as preservative. As you can see here some examples: mango chutney, lemon squashes, juices of colorless apple, etc. Not only this one, every canned food or liquids having this preservative. Why it is very useful? Because here potassium bisulfite, when combined with our food material or the ingredients of the food material, it will produce sulfur dioxide. That sulfur dioxide can produce acid in your food, and it can kill the germs. And the second category, is artificial sweeteners. So, why we are using sweeteners for food? Getting good taste, good sweet. Normally we are using sucrose, that is our table sugar, as a good sweetening agent, but every time we cannot use sucrose as a sweetener, because the sweet, the capacity of sucrose is very less. If we want very heavy sweet to the food particle, we need to add heavy amount of sucrose. But if a small quantity, some milligrams, the material will give heavy amount of sweet, means sucrose can't give it. So, we need some alternate sweetener in such materials. That is why we are using some other artificial sweeteners such as saccharin, aspartame, sucrose, sucralose, allicin. So, these are the 4 sugar substituents, sugar substituents that will not provide much calories, but that can provide better sweet. So, first of all, the saccharin. Saccharin is 550 times more sweeter than our table sugar, that is sucrose, and it is using in many places, just as baked items, jams, soft drinks, tinned fruit, chewing gum, candy, our normal ice cream, that ice itself. And second one is aspartame. You can see the chemical formula. It's very complicated, just like an amino acid. It's an amino acid actually, but the saccharin's formula is very simple, and the molecular formula is very, very simple. So, aspartame is an amino acid, and it is 180 to 200 times more sweeter than sucrose, and it is highly stable in various pH, especially 4.5 pH. That is why it is a major ingredient of our soft drinks, just like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, like that, Thumbs Up, Mirinda, many. Why it is using in such drinks? Because the pH of such soft drinks are around 3 to 5. That is, it is acidic actually, because they are using phosphoric acid as stabilizers. So, it is acidic normally. In that acidic pH, some sweetness are not stable, but aspartame is highly stable in such acidic pH. That is why it is highly useful in soft drinks. And the third one is sucralose. This is 600 times more sweeter than our normal table sugar, that is sucrose. And this also, but what is the main property of sucralose? It is highly stable in high temperature. So, for baking purpose, we are using sucralose as the sweetening agent, and using baking, mainly baking goods, where we are using high temperature. And the fourth one is allicin. You see the formula, it is a big formula, also it is amino acid, and it is 2000 times sweeter than our table sugar. Also heat resistant, the structure is highly stable in heat, and used in especially beverages, flavored drinks, everywhere. And the third category is food colors. So, colors are very attractive. Why? We love some materials or articles because of its color, due to its color only. So, food colors are only for giving the aesthetic appearance. So, colors are added to make the food attractive, to improve the aesthetic qualities of food, to replace the natural color destroyed during processing, and to ensure batch to batch uniformity in processed food. You know that suppose I can give an example, some broccoli is attractive green color, but after cooking that green color will fade. So, suppose in that time we are adding some extra green color, that will be again attractive. So, when food color will be added, if the natural color, when the natural color will destroy, that time we will add the artificial food colors. And these food colors can be classified into two categories, permitted and non-permitted colors. Permitted colors are permitted, that is non-harmful to our body, but non-permitted colors are high, it is 100% chemicals, that is highly toxic to our body. The permitted colors can be again divided into natural colorants and synthetic colorants. Natural colorants are very attractive because it is coming from the nature and it is body friendly or the life friendly. But synthetic colors are okay, we can use it up to a particular percentage it is harmless, but beyond a particular percentage it is harmful. Anyway, we are using synthetic colors with using some rules and regulations. So, you can see here these food materials, how these are attractive because of the color. You see the juice, the apple, and see the grapes and pumpkin, everything, orange. This why it is attractive? Especially because of its color. Taste is second. First, we need an attraction due to appearance. So, the color will give that sense. And we can discuss this about the permitted colors. What are the permitted colors? The first category of permitted colors is natural colorants. See, many vegetables and fruits having similar type of colors, similar type of chemical material for giving color. That color may be different, maybe violet, red or something like that, but the chemical component will be same. One example is anthocyanin. Anthocyanin is actually present in these like vegetables or fruits. Sometimes it will give red color, sometimes it will give violet color or blue color, something like that. But the ingredient is anthocyanin. See, impart blue, violet and red colors to many edible fruits and vegetables. And the second one is, carrot is very attractive because of its color. Why carrot is this orange color? Because of carotenoid. This contains beta carotene, carotenoid like beta carotene that is in carrot, that is will give that much attraction to carrot and also tasty. And you can see here our very familiar curcumin, the turmeric, it contains curcumin, and curcumin from turmeric, this will give not only medicinal value, it will give the attractiveness also, that color. The yellow color is responsible for curcumin. And you can see here why candies are attractive and tasty also. See, you can see caramel. Caramel can be prepared by heating a food grade carbohydrate like sucrose. If you take sucrose and dissolve in water, heat it for a long time, it will become brown color. That is why the cake is brown. Why cake is brown? Because of the sugar changed to this caramel because of heat. So, these are permitted colors and not artificially, it is coming from the nature itself or the food itself. And second one is synthetic colors. Synthetic colors are not naturally available, but we are preparing it by some means and adding to our food materials for getting good attraction, which are permitted and not that much toxic to our body. Anyway, so these may be coal tar products, that means artificial. And to increase the attractiveness and acceptance of its products, the food industry has used synthetic food also. When we are using synthetic colors, when the natural color don't have every hue of the color. Hue means a range of color, various from degrees to from light to dense. It is called a hue. Anyway, where it is lacking, that time we are using synthetic colors. These are used when natural coloring materials do not exist for a desired hue. So, these colors shall be pure and free from harmful substances. These are chemically or artificially making, but they may free from harmful substances. So, all food colors and color preparation shall be sold by only BIS certification, because especially these are making artificially. So, we need to obey the government's rules and regulations. Where we are using these things: carbonated beverages, gelatin, desserts, candies, baking goods, ice creams, biscuits, fruit syrup, etc. Many places we are using synthetic colors. Actually, nowadays 99% food materials having synthetic colors. We are using synthetic colors only. So, we can see some examples for synthetic colors. First one is fast green. You can see the color of the candy. This green color that using from a dye color is called fast green. and indigo carmine, brilliant blue, sunset yellow, carmosine, Ponce 4R. These all are using in food materials. These are harmful, but up to a level it is not that much harmful, but beyond a particular percentage it is harmful. And coming to the non-permitted colors, these are highly harmful, but we are using it less costly, and we are using in our in commercial purpose, but these are highly harmful and carcinogenic. And those colors that are banned from use as food additives on account of their toxic characters. These are actually banned, but is available in market. You see here rhodamine B, this pink color. This material is highly harmful, and orange too. This orange color, giving orange color to our food or some drinks. Methanol yellow, giving yellow color to some pulses, just like parip. Means moong dal. You can see chirupayar parip, moong dal. That's yellow color is responsible for methanol yellow. Also for laddu, the same. Jalebi, same color, same. Methanol yellow is very harmful actually. Water soluble, while washing it will go out. And Sudan 1, it is highly used as a adulterant in chili powder, very harmful colorant. So these are non-permitted colors. And the fourth category is flavor enhancers. Flavor enhancers are those substances that have little or no flavor, or they are on but supplement, modify or amplify the flavor of the substances in a wide range of food. So flavor enhancing agents maybe don't have that much taste or flavor its own, but when adding to the food material, it will give extra taste. And this also based on 5 nucleotides and amino acids. And the basic formula of these flavor enhancing agents mainly from 5 nucleotides. That nucleotides you know already. What are the nucleotides? Adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracil. You know it very well. And amino acids also you are familiar. So these all are natural ingredients. And best example for this flavorant is monosodium glutamate, that is called MSG. Sodium salt of glutamic acid, also called Ajinomoto. It is actually from Japan. It is also known to cause Chinese restaurant syndrome. While continuous taking, frequent taking, the person will get headache, shivering, just like that. That disease is called Chinese restaurant syndrome. But one more thing is that if you will take the food containing Ajinomoto, we will get the tendency to take it more and more every day. So Ajinomoto is very tasty. Means when combined with the food material, it is very tasty. But maybe itself it don't have much tasty, especially in noodles. Why noodles is this much tasty? Because of Ajinomoto. Anyway, can use 1% food, avoid from infant food. For infant food, it is not at all good. Especially it is very notorious. Ajinomoto is very notorious, but it is highly useful for getting good taste to food. Why it is notorious? There is a rumor that Ajinomoto is harmful to body, but it is wrong actually. Ajinomoto is not at all harmful to body, but an excess quantity is actually means taking an excess quantity is harmful to body, but it is not that much harmful, because glutamic acid is an ingredient of most of the vegetable available in our market. If glutamic acid is harmful, then Ajinomoto is harmful, but glutamic acid is an ingredient of every vegetable. That's why Ajinomoto is also an ingredient of every vegetable. That's why it is notorious. It is not at all harmful to body, but we have to avoid its continuous use. Also the synthetic food flavors, you can see here some synthetic flavors will give, some synthetic compounds will give the flavors of some particular materials. For butter, diacetyl. Diacetyl can give butter taste, and isoamyl acid can give banana taste. Some soft drinks having banana taste. it never having any natural banana, but only isoamyl acetate. And strawberry taste, that is ethyl butyrate, it can give strawberry taste. Bitter almond, benzaldehyde. So, almond itself having benzaldehyde. Cinnamon taste, cinnamic aldehyde. And fruits, ethyl propionate. Grape, methyl anthranilate. And you can see orange, limonene. Pear, ethyl decadionate. And pineapple, allyl hexanoate. Sugar, cotton candy, ethyl maltol. Vanilla, ethyl vanillin. And you can see here wintergreen, methyl salicylate, and coffee, alpha furfuryl mercaptan. These all are chemical compounds which will give the taste or the smell of these flavors. So, before using such canned or tinned food items, think about it contains harmful chemical substances. These flavors are artificially made, not naturally present. And the last portion is antioxidants. What are antioxidants? What is the use of antioxidants? While taking food, any food, you are getting a number of free radicals into your body, crores of free radicals into your body, but still we are alive and we don't have any disease. Normally, free radicals will enhance the chance for getting cancer, but we are taking for every food we are getting free radical, but still we are healthy. Why? Because from our food we are getting antioxidants also. We are taking antioxidants in one way or other way. These antioxidants will react with the free radicals that will nullify the effect of free radical activity. So, what is the use of antioxidants? Antioxidants are added to food mainly to prevent fats and oils from turning rancid, making the food unpleasant. Sometimes the food will get easily oxidized, combined with oxygen, easily oxidized and give some bad smell. To avoid that smell, we can add antioxidants. And antioxidants, that means in short, antioxidant will prevent the oxidation of food materials. How the antioxidant will work? You see, it's a free radical. A free radical means one electron is unpaired. That is highly reactive. Suppose you see the electron in the circle, that is not a part of this free radical. See, the free radical having 2, 4, 6, 8 and 9. 9 electrons are there, but the antioxidant having extra electrons. When an antioxidant will meet the free radical will give one extra electron to the free radical. Then the unpaired electron will be paired. If the electron is unpaired, this free radical will be highly active. It will be paired, it will not be active. So, by this way, antioxidants will reduce or making inactive this free radical. And these examples are butylated hydroxyanazole and butylated hydroxytoluene. So, oxidants can classify in many categories, but here we are discussing about first of all natural oxidants. These are natural oxidants, ascorbic acid, that is vitamin C, citric acid, these are also natural oxidants, natural antioxidants. And synthetic antioxidants are BHA and BHA is very important. The structures are very important. You have to familiarize with this and by heart it, the structure, and see the use. Antioxidants inhibit the oxidation of other substances very effectively. And I can tell some sources for antioxidants. See, from your daily meal, you have to include these ingredients to get much antioxidants for the smooth functioning of your body or the metabolism. Dark chocolate, and you see here artichokes, maybe we are not familiar maybe, and green tea. Spinach, these all are familiar with us. Kale is also not, maybe not familiar with us. Beans, red cabbage, all are familiar vegetables or fruits available in our market. So, these are rich in antioxidants. Also some vegetables, see the king of vegetable, see here the green one, king of vegetable, and all other vegetables, everything having much antioxidants. So, keep having these vegetables as a part of your life, and these are the main antioxidants for getting good energy to your brain, the smooth function of your brain. So, avocado, carrot, cherry, tomatoes, etc., these nuts, etc., these all can give good health to your brain and getting good antioxidants. And you can see here plenty of materials. We can get the good sources of antioxidants. So, keep a habit, and the last portion I can tell these things, some adulterants in your daily food. In tea, see, used tea leaves processed and colored. Some used tea leaves are using in fresh tea. So, that is an adulterant that will make liver disorder. And milk, unhygienic water and starch. For getting more thickness, starch is using, especially in our masala also, maybe I think chicken masala, biryani masala, sambar masala, everything may be having some starch as an ingredient. Starch is just like our starch powder, rice powder. So, milk contain a much amount of unhygienic water and starch, that also will make stomach disorders. And edible oil contains unedible oils, that is some mineral oils, that also very harmful and carcinogenic. And turmeric powder contains lead chromate, as that will give liver disorder. Lead chromate also yellow in color, that is used along with the turmeric powder or an alternate to turmeric powder. So, these all are adulterants in our daily food, and you can see much more. See, bread, substandard yeast for getting preparing yeast. You know that these here some leavening agent is using. That leavening agent is called yeast. Always we need to use good yeast for leavening the material. So, otherwise we will get diarrhea, vomiting, allergy, everything. And you can see here egg, ciprofloxacin, it is a medicine actually, it is a antibiotic. We are giving this antibiotic to chicken. So, automatically that ingredient will come to the egg also, it will make diarrhea, vomiting, etc. And aldrin in banana also is called pesticide or insecticide, You see in fish, people are using much formalin, that is also very harmful. And for lettuce, gamma BHC, that also very harmful pesticide. You see beans, beta BHC pesticide, and pineapple, ethione, that also pesticide. Carrot, DDT, very harmful pesticide. And you can see here turmeric powder, lead chromate, or anyway it is very harmful. And tomatoes, ethione, anyway. Chicken, many antibiotics are using while growing chicken. So, ciprofloxacin, sulfonamides, etc. And you can see here capsicum, gamma chlordane is also pesticide. So, many places we are using, see dried fish, DDT is using for keeping it long time. How? I don't have words to explain such things. So, everywhere contamination is there, our food is adulterifying. So, it is very difficult to to believe food materials getting from outside. So, be careful before taking such artificial foods. Think Try to use natural food from your surroundings, and thank you.